Hey guys, welcome back to the Survivor series. We have just a few players left here. First up, right now we have Motive, one of the two remaining Protoss players alongside Ruin. He's going up against Beast, who just eliminated our last Terran player in Leda. Of course, if Beast falls, we still have Yabsab for Zerg to fall back upon. The map is Neo-Sylphid. And, you know, obviously this is as close as you can get between the two races. As far as who is favored here, I feel like this is actually a pretty close one. Like, Beast is really good. He's been performing quite well, but Motive really is one of the strongest up-and-coming Protosses right now. So, I don't know. I would call this pretty even. Yeah, pretty even. So let's see what they're going to open with. As far as Neo-Sylphid goes, it looks like this one from Motive is going to be a gateway expansion. Put some Zealot pressure on. Over on Beast's side, he has gone here for a 9 pool. So could end up being aggressive. We don't see anything crazy like a gas as of yet. This is probably a drone trick here to get another drone. The extractor trick, rather. Where you build the building. It allows some supply. You build a drone, you cancel. You know, you're not losing that much, honestly. You lose 25% of 25 minerals. So what is that? It's like 7 minerals, something like that. Or 6 minerals, I guess. But yeah, that's one way to get one extra drone out there, as long as your larvae aren't really hurt by it for when the spawning pool finishes. And I believe the way this works with the 9 pool is the 2 larvae are here, and then the 3rd one pops out just after the spawning pool finishes. So yeah, you see 4 lings being made, and then the next larva, there it is, 6 lings. All right, so there you have it. Quick probe scout here, so he knows exactly what's going on. Let's see what he wants to do. Just sit back defensively with the Zealot, perhaps. I've talked about this before with gateway expansions against 9 pool. Generally, the main thing that you need to do is have your entrance blocked, and then have a roaming Zealot to make sure that, like, your pylon or your gateway don't go down. Now, there is another way to do it, which is you make a ling-tight wall as much as possible, and then clog the rest with units. It looks like that is how Motive wants to play this. Now, this ling, this probe, I believe, is blocking a ling hole right here. You might actually tell it hold position with his Zealot. And look, yeah, more probes coming up. And then this Zealot pops out. So one gets through immediately. This could be a little bit dangerous, but it looks like good blocking so far here from Motive. Good micro there as well. Pulls back. Oh, 2 probes already go down. So, you know, when you do go for a move like that, that is a bit more greedy. And you can see that Beast gets in immediately. He's killed 2 probes. So already that's pretty good. See if he can get any more here. Getting a lot of damage on a couple of these probes. Zealots coming and converging upon those lings, but the other 2 going to come in from the other side. Ooh, gets another one. So we've had 3 probes from the 9 pool killed already. Doesn't quite get that one. Taking some damage on these lings. Of course, you know, Beast did damage to himself in a manner of speaking by getting the spawning pool that early. Does hurt his overall economy. So, you know, you do have to get some amount done with it, generally speaking. Nexus on the way. No photon cannon or anything as of yet. 2 Zealots walking down the map. Now, this type of move is very strong and very important. Look at that 2 Overlords rallied up here. That's so funny. But yeah, the 2 Zealots are going to force a lot of Zerglings to be made. And this is the type of thing you want to do against something like a 9 pool to keep their worker count down. You make them continually make more and more units. Now, these lings run out and do target the probe quite a bit. Get a bit of damage on it there. Of course, he wants a cannon, but you can't just make a cannon with the lings running around. You have to be careful because they can power down so quickly. An unbuilt cannon dies super, super fast. Now, the 2 Zealots are in here being microed quite heavily. They go into that drone line. You got to be careful about that. The drills can deal a lot of damage. Lots of Zerglings having to be made here from Beast. And I think we have, yeah, it looks like all the lings in the main base of Motive have been cleared out. That's not a big surprise considering Beast has to really concentrate to not take damage from these 2 Zealots. They're standing behind the mineral patches here, trying to make a small, tiny area where the Zerglings can't really do that good of a job of flanking or anything. And so far, so good. This one Zealot that's like kind of in that tiny little nook, doing a fantastic job, still very high on health. And look how many kills he's got at this point. It's very impressive. Now, there are a few more Zealots out on the map. One being sent over towards his third base location, which is where the lair is going. Some Speedlings over here might end up catching these Zealots. One of them gets hit quite a bit. Ooh, very good surround here from Beast. Beast is going to pick up that kill, but with the Photon Cannon, yeah, that's very, very strong. You're not going to quite be able to break through that. You need a lot of Zerglings to get through there. The last Zealot gets picked off in Beast's main. Beast did make some more Zerglings. He actually has quite a few, but I don't think he can actually break through here. So now we're looking at a 15 drone Zerg against a 25 probe Protoss. That is a little bit weak as far as economy goes. His lair is almost done, so we'll see what he can get done with that. Obviously, he's going to throw down a Spire. Zealot just going behind those minerals once again. Doing what he can. Microing. Nice micro there from Beast. Pulls back the very hurtling to save its life. Those little precise micro moments definitely are things that matter. Spire on the way. We have +1 air attacks, as well as the, well, the first Corsair will be started here just momentarily. So taking a look at this game, I gotta say I like Motive Spot a little bit more. The amount of Zerglings that he has actually forced after that 9 pool is pretty significant. But I would say Beast is not dead right now, right? Like he should have a little bit of play here with the Spire coming. Now, the first Corsair is going to be out pretty quickly. We'll see where he can find an Overlord. This one being sent off in an almost random direction. This one as well. He's just like, well, I hope you don't fly over these. All right, the Corsair looks like it will miss. You can see the vision bubbles of everything here. So the Corsair just going directly towards the natural. Not a big surprise it's not super hunting for Overlords. You might be concerned that Beast is going for something like a 3-hatch Hydra Bust. But as he gets down here, he's going to see, okay, that drone count is high enough. That's definitely not what's occurring. Checks over here, sees the Spire. Okay, time to work on some Overlords, but Scourge are being made already. So you have to be careful not to lose the Corsairs. If you start losing Corsairs, you're going to be in trouble. And the fact that we see Carapace on the way here for Beast shows that he would like to go Mutas. Now, we don't know if he actually will commit to those, but since he's getting that +1 flyer Carapace, it definitely looks like that's what he wants. Now, we'll see how fancy the flying is here from Motive. Trying to avoid that Scourge. In the meantime, some Zealots coming back. The flank coming up, but look at that turn. Very nice turn. So you fly some of the Scourge ahead. One follows, and then the other ones try to, like, kind of head it off, right? They're laying the spiked strips ahead on the road, basically. Now, Zealot's going for a counterattack. This is not a lot of Lings right now. The Sunken is on the way, but, oh, God, they get great surface area on it to start. Drones drilling in. That was a beautiful move of the drones. He's actually doing a great job with them, but these Zealots have a lot of damage and a lot of health. Looks like they are going to be able to pick off this Sunken very quickly. There was a huge amount of damage being put onto them. Some more Zerglings come up, but the Zealots almost, they all stay alive, basically. Now with their speed as well as the +1, this is going to be very hard to hold. 5 Mutas are on the way. See if those 5 Mutas are able to do anything here, but it looks like the Spire might actually end up being popped before you can even get that Carapace. So now you just have like 5 weak Mutas. And you are taking some serious damage here from Motive. Really looks like Motive has done a great job applying pressure after the aggressive opening of Beast didn't get enough done. Corsairs flying into this third base location. And honestly, with this many Corsairs and no Spire, I think that becomes game very quickly. There's like 1 Scourge and like 5 Mutas, right? So you're going to have 4 Corsairs. That should just beat everything, especially with the +1. So right now he's chasing those Mutas. Yeah, look, another one joining in, more being made as well. And once you kill those, if there's no anti-air, you can just go kill every single Overlord. Now, Zealot's hitting in once again. Double Zealot in the main, double Zealot at the natural. GG is called. And now we're down to our last Zerg player. So directly into game number 2 here, we have a Pylon Scout coming out against Motive. He is up against the last Zerg player. Yabsab has got to do it here. He has got to win for Team Zerg or it is over and Team Protoss will win. Of course, if Yabsab wins, he still has to beat Ruin as well, who is absolutely one of my favorite Protoss players. So certainly Team Protoss looking primed to end up winning this Survivor Series. Now, this very quick scout does see the location of Yabsab and is delaying that hatchery from going down. So Yabsab gonna go ahead, throw down his spawning pool. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it is annoying, of course. You're not letting your opponent do what they planned, what they wanted to do. And in the meantime, Motive looks like he's gonna go a Nexus first. Look at that. Gets over here, delays the hatchery, forces a non-hatchery first build, and then goes Nexus first himself. Now, of course, he's going to have to go Forge right afterwards. You can see he's skipping a lot of probes from being produced. This is a 12 Nexus, and he's going to sit at 12 while he gets that Forge going. Probes can be started again, and then, of course, he'll have to get some cannons down. Probably one should be able to do it. But a very good build from Motive. A great opener, I would say. You can't really be much happier than what he's got here to delay your opponent and to get your own Nexus first play. So looking very good for our up-and-coming Protoss. Gateway coming in as well. Very greedy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Obviously, there's like 2 Lings on the way, so you're really not afraid of this at all. He is going to have to make a cannon either way. I mean, you guys have seen in the past how much damage even a very small amount of Zerglings can do in a Protoss main base. Probes are incredibly weak. It's kind of crazy. I mean, in certain circumstances, like you put a probe against an early Terran base, it wreaks havoc. You put probes, like any amount versus like 2 to 4 Lings, they're dead. It's kind of a funny thing. But yeah. Anyways, the Lings running down. They're not going to make it in time. The Photon Cannon is going to be warping in. Already getting mining here from his natural ahead of Yabsab. Third base coming up for Yabsab, though, as well as a very quick layer. So he's staying on point. It's not like he's taken any real damage. Like, his build was messed with a little bit, but it's, again, not the end of the world. You know, StarCraft is such a complex game. Like, these little things happen and they hurt, but it's like, okay, well, I mean, that's not going to cost you a game here. You're going to be able to macro up and make some real decisions and show us what you got. Now, Cybernetics Core on the way, starting to make some Zealots as well. We might actually see this first Zealot go out. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think you want to walk it right under that Overlord. And you might turn it around. Like, you might walk it up to here and then turn around and come back. That is definitely a possibility. But you want your opponent to think this is going across the map so he doesn't only have 2 Lings. Because 2 Lings can't beat a Zealot. So, like, this will probably make him make 4 Lings. Yeah, see? 2 sets in production. And if you don't do that move, then he gets 2 more drones. So this effectively eliminates 2 drones, right? Just by existing, just by walking out. And you can see he walked under the Overlord. He went up here. And where is he actually going to go? Yeah, it looks like he's making his way to his the third base here of Yabsab. You do want to make this a question about where it's going or if it's going. And you can see it's like kind of delayed and stuff. It's not the quickest path to this third. The Zerglings are all out on the map. He might think the Zealot was just waiting or looped around where the Overlord didn't see to get home, that type of thing. But now it appears at this third. So it's going to cause one drone to lose its mining time. It's going to have to run out of there. Put some damage on the hatch. That isn't generally that big of a deal. Looks like this drone actually wants to come back and... I don't know, maybe fight a little bit here. Ooh, he gets a drone there with that Zealot. Very big kill. And this is an amazing location. Like, this Zealot can kill so many Zerglings right in a row here. You can see some good micro, though. Swapping out the hurt Zerglings, and he still gets both of them. So the Zealot worth its weight in gold this game, seriously. That was like an amazing Zealot. Makes drones not be made, kills like 4 Zerglings, causes some lost mining time. Just fantastic. Now, the first Corsair out, going across the map. Spire is just finishing as it gets there. Pretty standard, pretty normal stuff. Some Scourge will be produced immediately, of course, as is always the case here. You want to make, you know, generally force Scourge to just push back the first couple of Corsairs. Make sure that your opponent has to be careful with them, build up a little bit before you start losing Overlords to it. This one Corsair kind of scouting the map, just barely misses that Overlord. Even if it finds that Overlord, I'm not sure it can kill this one because, yeah, with the double Corsair, they should be able to kill this before Scourge get there and get home. But if you have one up here, it's very unlikely. And the thing is, Protoss know this timing so well. Now, these Scourge are trying to intercept them on the way home if they were a bit slow, and they actually were a bit slow. So Yabsab might get a very big kill here. Ah, Motive was watching, though. Does a little juking and jiving. See if he's able to get home with both the Corsairs. Ooh, splitting them up. Okay, so one's going to get home. The other one... Oh, man, it's hard. Quite the micro from both sides. Okay, 2 Corsairs coming out to help this one. So they all fly off to the side. These Are we going to get it? Look at him juke and jive. Oh, my God. He gets hit by one and gets the cannon up. Beautifully done. And that Scourge doesn't really have too much left to do here. Okay, now, +1 and Zealot legs are almost finished. Hydralisk production is being made here from Yabsab. As we can see, he's up to 5 hatcheries. Has that +1 attack going. Has Hydralisk speed and Overlord speed on the way. See what these Zealots can get done. +1 is done. Those legs just about to finish. Armor already started. Yeah, of course, he loves attacking the actual Zerglings here. But with those Hydras coming up as well, you can see that damage started really piling up on these Zealots. They are going to run back home. Corsairs look like they are out on the prowl. They just got their own +1 attack as well, so definitely can kill those Overlords a lot quicker now. Adding a few more cannons here. I don't think that there's a, well, I mean, we could see one of those pre-storm bust timings that are so popular in Zerg vs. Protoss. You know, you just mass up a lot of range speed Hydras and try to get in there right before your opponent has Psystorm. We have the Templar archives, but honestly, nothing else yet, right? Like, no Psystorm on the way. It just started. First Psystorm upgrade and first High Templar. So, you know, he has until he has a Storm ready, where there's this kind of weak moment where you could possibly bust in. Now, you see a bunch of cannons going up. He's being very, very careful at this potential attack. And actually, Yabsab runs up and tries to do the attack. Kind of surprising there. It didn't feel like he really had enough. The speed Zealots come in and start to hurt them as well. These Hydras can be microed pretty heavily, but doesn't feel like they really did what they were looking for. I guess if you end up picking off all of the Zealots, it's actually still a pretty good play. But yeah, they don't really do anything to these cannons. Single DT is out now as well. Unfortunately for him, there is an Overlord with speed over here, so not likely to be able to slip that DT out yet. Corsair's still looking for victims. Ooh, he just runs it right by. Yabsab not quite noticing. Just on hold position here, trying to take out the gateway. He is going to be able to get this upgrade, it looks like, which is really, really strong. That +1 armor is incredibly important in this matchup. So a very good move. A close game so far, I have to say. Looks like Yabsab did get supply blocked by these Corsairs. Does pick one off in retaliation. And he had to cancel that +1 armor. No +1 armor finishing here. Corsairs evacuating as some Scourge chase them. Oh, yeah, the Hydra's going to come over, try to put a little bit of extra damage on there as well. You know, the thing is, you do want to still eliminate the Corsairs, even if they're not a huge factor in the game. Because eventually, like, in a lot of games, it's not necessarily every single game, but in a lot of Zerg vs. Protoss games, even if you don't make Mutalisks at the beginning, sometimes you'll make a group of them to just pick off High Templars. Right? Like, you really want to kill off the High Templars, because without the High Templars, basically Mass Hydra can win, right? You need a few Storms in there for sure. Now, Double Forge gets started up here from Motive. A little bit salty, I guess, about losing that Forge at the front, unable to finish that upgrade. Going to go for 2 now. So his 3 upgrade timing is going to be similar to what his 3 upgrade timing was before, but obviously missing an upgrade for now in that armor. High Templars are out. The Robo on the way, knowing that the next stage is going to be Lurkers. And Yabsab, of course, already burrowing a few Lurkers here defensively there on his ramp to his 4th. Everything looking pretty good. He's added a macro hatch here, too. So we're up to 7 hatcheries now. Really good macro. Look at that, 13 drones being made. So he's actually about to jump up to 60 workers. Absolutely fantastic. Motive taking his own third base. This is a mineral-only base. So obviously it's good, but you really do want a third gas as Protoss. That's oftentimes a sticking point for the race. Because without that third gas, your High Templar count, you know, it's hard to keep it up and make observers and get the Dragoons out that you want as well. Speaking of Dragoons, just now we're seeing the production of some. So this is a pretty heavy amount of Zealots, right? Like, he's still got about 2 groups on the map, and we did have some die earlier as well. So a lot of Zealots have been created. It's like some of them going to run into this third base spot. There's only a single lurker. It is dealing a lot of damage here. Oh, I love that egg morph. Look at these egg morphs right there. And as he doesn't actually get to kill pretty much anything and starts taking massive damage from the lurker splash, Motive will run out of there. So very swift micro from Yabsab. Keeping those Hydras alive, just turning them into lurkers that they probably wanted to be anyways. A lot of Dragoons being masked, though. That third base is going to finish. That's going to help his economy immensely. You know, Protoss gets very oversaturated in this matchup as well because the third base does come pretty late. So good to get some of those probes off. These patches can last a little bit longer. Keep that income level high overall. Pretty scary army from Motive. Let's take a look over here on Yabsab's side. It's scary as well. Like, this type of defense that you see, these spread lurkers plus some sunken colonies and sometimes even a spore colony. Polypoid specifically doesn't have a lot of room for these. So we might not see the spore in here, but just like any static D plus lurkers plus your Ling Hydra is really, really hard to attack, especially when it's uphill. Dragoons have a terrible time fighting uphill. They just shoot so slowly. As soon as you start missing shots, things get bad. You really need Dragoons to hit their shots. +2 attack, almost done. Kadarian Amulet as well here. It's like he might, yeah, be getting ready for that 4th base. This is kind of a common way to play Polypoid or maps like this in general. You get the 3rd, you get it mining, and you utilize this mineral. Instead of adding gates, what you'll do is you'll take a 4th, and then if you need more gates, you can add them on, right? Like, you don't just try to spend every mineral that comes out of this. This is kind of like, the mineral base is oftentimes a bridge to the gas base in Protoss versus Zerg. Okay, getting ready now to maybe attack uphill here. Has a lot of Psy Storms, no doubt about that. Oh, the Corsairs actually keep the Observer alive. Very well done. Some Storms going down. Starting to attack uphill. The Zealots being held back for a moment. Probably a good thing so the Lurkers don't devastate them. Some good Psy Storms go off. The Lings attacking in single file right now. But now the Zealots are going to start getting on top of things. As multiple Lurkers start to shoot, you can see Motive pulling them back. They've taken a ton of damage. He doesn't want them all to just evaporate. But now there's almost no Hydras, and forward go the Corsairs. They're going to be able to pick off some of the Scourge and push back Overlords. A nice storm goes down on the clumped up Lurkers here. Another one as well. Motive starts to break through here. Yabsab trying to rally down anything that he can. But this is looking very good for Motive. Look at this. The 4th base location is going to get taken out, and there's double hatchery here. Most of his army as well. And obviously here is not as defendable as that high ground. So how are you going to hold on? More and more units running up right now for Motive. Just a beautiful macro-oriented Protoss versus Zerg game. And it looks like Yabsab, who's now fighting with drones, doesn't have anything left over. Yeah, this definitely looks like Protoss going to end up winning the Survivor Series. Guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments if you made it through all of them and liked this type of format. I'm going to be funding some more matches soon, so I really do want to hear what everyone's favorite type of tournament is, from the ones that I fund at least, or even the other ones that I do, so I can keep an eye out for those. So thank you very much for watching, guys, as we see just the Motive running over Yabsab. Yabsab just absorbing what's going on right now. I mean, he's making 8 Lings and 5 Hydras. That doesn't stop this. It just doesn't. He's picking off Evolution Chambers. Look at this. The Ling's getting just decimated. GG. Protoss wins.